Hey friends, Melissa here, your director and fourth wall theater admin. If you'll be performing with us, I would love for you to use virtual backgrounds during your performance because it sets the scene. It really helps me anyway to imagine myself somewhere other than a cluttered office space, and that imagination helps me to get into the role, and that's part of the fun. It's actually very simple, but there are a little bit of technical tips to keep in mind for a virtual background to work in the best way. So let's dig in. First, the basics, how to set a virtual background in Zoom.
Okay, the interface may vary a little if you're on a phone using Zoom, but for productions, using a desktop or laptop computer really is the best. So hopefully you can see this because I'm using my phone to record my computer because Zoom won't let me screen share Zoom and record it. So we're going down here, hopefully you can see that. Click the little arrow, the little up arrow next to the stop video button. Choose virtual background. Then click the little plus button underneath your preview image there and click add image. Browse for your background image. By the way, for my productions, I always plan to prepare these ahead of time for you, and I will label them in the order of their appearance. So I'm going to click my file and then click open, and it appears magically behind me. I can get this window out of my way, and it's behind me.
If you have multiple scenes, go ahead and preload all the backgrounds you'll need for your part in the order that you'll need them. And do this before the performance day. You can practice swapping them as you practice your lines, and the file names will be labeled in red in the script to make it even easier for you. On opening night, you'll need to keep an eye on the script as we go along so you know when to cue your background, so you'll be ready. Now, as I'm talking and moving around here, you'll notice that the background is having some trouble keeping up with me, and it's kind of making me look like I have a 1920s sort of hairstyle. It's chopping off some of my hair. This is because some tones between me in the foreground and those in the background may be too similar, or some other kind of digital issue is happening. I'm not exactly sure, but it's having trouble deciding what to mask out. But this is important because we will need to see things while you perform. We don't want you to be frustrated by your costume, your props, or even your face if your skin tone is similar to the wall color behind you to just disappear while you perform. So the best way to do a virtual background is to use a green screen. So let's up the game here and discuss green screens.
First, I'm going to turn off my background so that you can see what I'm doing in my actual background in my studio. So go to the stop video icon and click the little arrow, choose virtual background, scroll to the top of your list. If you have a bunch of images in there, scroll to the top and click none, and that will turn it off.
Now you need some green fabric. It doesn't have to be green, but it does need to be a color, probably crazy, bright, and solid like this, that would never be on your clothing, in a prop, or on your face and hair. This piece I have is about 3 yards long, and it is just super cheap cotton from Hobby Lobby that was probably like $10 total. So I also have a stand behind me, and I just pin it over the top of that top rod. You could also just tape the fabric flat to a wall behind you, or you can hang it over a string that is secured to like the 2 walls behind you, or beside you, but behind you. Whatever works. Behind the scenes stuff is not flashy. It just needs to stay in place. Okay, now I have my screen pinned up, and I also added a light because it really helps to have the screen fairly evenly lit, and I just kind of did it quickly, so it's actually not that evenly lit. And there's also some sunlight coming in here, so you're going to see how it's going to affect the background a little bit. So you want your screen as evenly lit as you can. But now I'm going to go back into Zoom.
Okay, so we're going to go back down here to the stop video arrow and click choose virtual background. And then you're going to check this box that says I have a green screen. So I'm going to check that, and then I'm going to find my background image. And look how much better this works. I can see the edges of my hair is not chopping out like this whole chunk of hair. It's showing that, and it looks way, way better. You can also go here under the preview here. There's a little spot where you can select, it's like a color picker. So you can click that and then pick the color of the sheet, of whatever your sheet is if it's not green, and it'll use that color to block out the background.
And now I can have all kinds of actions and props show up perfectly and not disappear while I'm using them. And the best part is I don't have to clean up my space before a performance because it's all back there. It's just covered up by a piece of green fabric. So I really encourage performers to play with this and to have the backgrounds that I will send to you all preloaded before opening night. And I guarantee it will make pretending to be your character so much more fun. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I look forward to seeing your performance.